In this video, we're going to look at the answer, or a answer, for Lab 6.2. So Lab 6.2 says create a function that returns a list of sum, difference, product, and quotient of two numbers, displays the results to the user, and divide the program into data processing and presentation sections. So it can build on the previous lab. I'm going to go ahead and copy that text out. I'm going to come over here and make another project file. Lab 6-2. And 1, 2, 3. Paste the instructions in. And that's a good start. Now, I've already got this function working, so I can copy that and paste it in, but there's some things we got to change. So I've got a function that goes through and adds some numbers together, and I'll actually put that down here. But as we've talked about, the fact is I've got my processing layer and my presentation layer intertwined, and I want to separate that. So I want to be able to return a list of values, and that means that this code separate that out. And this code here, I'm going to go ahead and return a list of sum, difference, product, and quotient. And being way too lazy to type it out, I'm going to do the drag and drop thing again. Okay, so sum, comma, difference, comma, product, comma, quotient. Okay, that should return that. Returns a list. Yeah, I think I got it. Next, display the results to the user. So when they call the function, I want to display the results, and I'll do so by capturing those results. So LST answer will hold my results when it comes back, and I'll just print it out. Okay, I think that's going to work. Let's find out. Yep, it printed out the answers. Didn't look very good, but it did print out the answers. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the code I had previously and to print out the values. And I'll just move that down here. And I'm going to hold down, let's see, can I do the Alt here? Alt and delete. I was holding down the Alt, left clicking and dragging. And what I want to do is I want to change this over to LST answer. And we want the values, oops, excuse me. Actually, I want to make some arguments here. So how about we make a an argument 1 and argument 2. We'll put in the values 3 and 4. And I'll change this to A1. And then as far as this, I'll just change it to list answer. And we just want element 0, element 1, element 2, and element 3. I think that's going to work. Let's find out. For values 3 and 4, the sum is 7, difference -1. Yeah, it's working just fine. Now, have I gone through and done the third part, divide your program into data and processing and presentation. Well, you don't, pretty much I have. As far as the data stuff goes, that would probably be these values here. So I'll go ahead and cut them out and make a section specifically for data. This is where I declare my variables, and I'll even go through and say, okay, let's declare this. Now, it could be easily argued that I don't need to do this. Oops, wrong thing. I don't need to do this. Python will later on just go ahead and accomplish that for me. And that is true. Although I think it's easier to read when somebody opens your program later on if they see the list of data organized at the very top. They can see what's going to be used, and I would actually go through and maybe make some comments about, you know, this holds the results of my calculations. Calculations. I wish my spelling was better. Okay, so, and you know, just go through and make some comments like that. And then, let's see, the processing piece. Hey, get back there. Processing piece would be here. And then the user interface piece would be here. Oops. This is your input-output presentation. So I have a data layer, processing layer, and a presentation layer. And I've divided my code into kind of reusable chunks. I don't need this code anymore. So now the nice thing about this is if ever I want to use this function again, I just have to copy that function over here and use it. And it doesn't have to take the same format. I mean, I don't have to always print it out the same way. I can print it out different ways. I don't have to input the data the same way. I can use hard-coded values instead of variables. I have flexibility. This code and the function stands alone. It's separate. The processing of the data is separate from the way I present it, and that's a good thing. It makes the code more reusable. Anyway, that would be the answer I came up with this time. Every time I do this exercise, it comes out differently. If you did yours, that's fine, as long as it works. But hopefully, seeing how I walk through the problem, it will be useful to you. Next video, I'll see you there.